It's Hicks, 5-minute picks, college football playoff quarterfinal edition. We got 4 really good games. Let's dive into them. New Year's Eve, Penn State, Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. Nittany Lions, 11-point favorites. Here's where this game is going to come down to. It's going to be decided on Boise State's defense. That's right, defense. Here's why. Their secondary, biggest weakness on their team. I think Jarrell's going to have a lot of success picking them apart, throwing the ball deep. One of the most vulnerable defenses in terms of allowing plays down the field. If Jarrell hits some deep passes, which I think he will, that now all of a sudden is going to hurt the ability for the Broncos just to rely on Ashton Jeanty, who is out of this world, is outstanding. There's no stopping him. So Penn State's defense is not going to shut him down. No one is. Jeanty will get his. He's 132 yards away from breaking Barry Sanders' single-season record. I think he'll get that in this game. So we will see history. But I think Penn State's defense will do a good enough job of limiting Jeanty's impact, so where if Boise State can't get stops, I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. And if Jeanty's not taking over this game, which I don't think he will, then you're relying on Maddox Madsen, Boise State's quarterback, and these receivers to make plays. I just don't think they're good enough. So when you look at this matchup, I think Penn State's just too good. Jeanty will get his, but it's not going to be enough here to lead Boise State to the upset. So on New Year's Eve, as the clock is ticking, all of a sudden, what are you going to see as the clock strikes and midnight strikes? White confetti, signaling a Penn State victory. Give me the Nittany Lions, 37-23. They win the Fiesta Bowl, advance to the Final Four. That'll be it for the confetti. The rest of this, I apologize here, but I'm a one-man show. I got to clean this up, and I don't feel like being here all night. All right, let's go New Year's Day. You're nursing that hangover, maybe sipping a mimosa, a little hair of the dog, trying to get you going here. Nothing will cure that hangover like a little Texas, Arizona State, little Cam Scattaboo in the morning. They're going to need them. The Sun Devils are, boy, are they big-time underdogs here. 12.5-point underdogs to Texas. Let's look at it from Texas's perspective first here. Name of the game for the Longhorns is very simple. Balance. The less Quinn Ewers has the ball, the better. When Texas is asking their quarterbacks to throw the ball a ton, that's when they're at their least efficient. Texas 0-2 this year when their quarterbacks attempt 40 or more passes, 11-0 when they attempt under 30 passes. If Texas is able to run the ball with Batman and Robin, Jaden Blue and Wisner, I think they will, by the way, they're going to have a lot of success, put their offense in great positions to succeed like they did in round 1 against Clemson. So I do think, because when you look at Arizona State's rush defense, weak, 41st in terms of yards per carry, and you look at Texas outside of the SEC title game against Georgia, and you look at their last 3 games, they're averaging 260 yards on the ground. They are churning up yards. I think that continues here. I think Texas just outmans, out-talents, out-skills Arizona State. They win 34-17. They advance to the Final Four. All right, the granddaddy of them all, rematch edition. Oregon, Ohio State. How about the Buckeyes? 2.5-point favorites in this one. I think Oregon going to this game is like the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's what I mean by that. They're the best team that never gets the credit they deserve. Again, underdog to Ohio State. Oregon's the only undefeated team left in the country, yet still an underdog here at a game in which is geographically closer to their campus. Anyway, I get why there's a lot of reasons to fall in love with Ohio State, because their talent and how they beat Tennessee in round number 1 and all this other stuff. Great. You take that. I'll take Oregon every time. Because when I look at this Ducks team and look how they match up against Ohio State, number 1, I don't know how anybody is stopping this Oregon offense. They have the best quarterback in the playoff in Dylan Gabriel. They also have one of the best rushing attacks right now, where they were good in that first matchup they had against the Buckeyes, ran for 155 yards, 5 yards a pop. Well, the scary thing is for Ohio State, they're even better now, where they've been averaging the last 7 games 180 yards on the ground. So we've seen how explosive the receivers and the passing game can be for Oregon. Well, now you have a hard-nosed run game to go on top of it. Oh, by the way, one of the best offensive lines in the country that keep Dylan Gabriel upright. Even with this great defense for Ohio State that's not allowed, by the way, a passing touchdown since the Oregon game, I don't know how they're keeping up. I don't think this offense right now for Ohio State, their offensive line problems are built to keep up with the Ducks. Give me Oregon here. 31-27, they are swimming to the Final Four, the Ducks are. And finally, the nightcap. Notre Dame, Georgia, dogs, 1-point favorite. Notre Dame wins outright in this game. You want to know why? Because they are truly the most legit Irish team I have seen in my lifetime. There's always been hype around Notre Dame Usually disappoint in the biggest games. Not this time. Why? Because the Holy Trinity is going to bring them to salvation. The Holy Trinity in the terms of Jeremiah Love, Riley Leonard, Jadarian Price. This rushing attack is going to carry the Irish to the Final Four. It is, to me, unstoppable. They've been just bullying every team they play. And it's a submission for the most part. And you look on the other side of the coin for this game for Georgia, this is the worst Kirby Smart team that he's had in years. I mean, right now you have a backup quarterback in Gunnar Stockton. You got no run game whatsoever. Georgia, ready for this? 96 in the country in terms of rushing yards per game. They're worse than Georgia State. Their receivers, tight ends can't catch a cold in Antarctica if they were shirtless. So it's like they don't have a lot of redeeming qualities right now. I look at this matchup. I like the way Notre Dame's playing. I think they win the game. Low scoring, 23-17. Notre Dame takes down the Irish. Enjoy the playoff games.